So let's talk about the parts of the motorcycle. You know, the headlight is kind of obvious. This whole front plastic piece your bike may or may not have is called a fairing. The fairing helps you cut through the wind better. And from riding a naked bike, which has no fairing, I can tell you that, in my opinion at least, fairings really work. And I've become a believer in fairings. This bike doesn't have a windshield right now, but there should be a windshield right here. You've got your mirrors, speedometer, tachometer, temperature gauge. You want to make sure you're not running hot. And especially important to the new rider is going to be this little green light here. This is the neutral light. When your bike is in neutral, that light is going to come on. And if you don't know anything about neutral yet, stay put. In the next episode, we're going to talk about shifting gears, clutch control, and all of that stuff. So you don't want to start the bike unless you're in neutral. If you want to let go of the clutch, you want to make sure you're in neutral. Over here, we do have the clutch lever. You pull it in when you want to shift gears, or you want to go to neutral without actually shifting down to neutral, but we'll talk about that next episode. These are high beams, low beam headlights, turn signals, horn, and this is your choke. If you have a carbureted bike, to start it, you're going to have to give it some choke. The farther towards you pull this, the more extra fuel the engine gets. You're probably going to need to turn the choke on to start the bike, especially when it's cold outside. Once you start moving, you can shut it off. Over here is your front brake lever, which operates the front brake on the front wheel. And this is your master cylinder. This is where your brake fluid is. This is where it builds up pressure to stop that front wheel. This is your engine kill switch. The bike won't start in this position. It'll only run in that position. If you're in a panic situation, you want to turn that off, but at the same time or before, you need to pull the clutch lever. Because if you don't, your wheels could lock up. Once you do turn on that switch, your starter is right here. On a lot of bikes, you have to hold the clutch lever or hold the brake to start the bike. Hit the engine kill, bike turns off. This is your rear brake pedal. When you push down on this, your rear wheel brakes. And over here on your left foot, this is your shifter. We'll talk about the shifter more in the next episode. Now, before you get on or ride the motorcycle, you want to do a safety check. You want to follow TCLOCS. TCLOCS. TCLOCS stands for T, tires and wheels. C, controls, levers, switches. L, lights and electrics. O, oil and other fluids. C, chassis parts, like your chain, sprockets, and suspension. And the final S is for stands, side stand and center stand, if your bike has a center stand. Now when you're preparing to ride your bike, you need to go through FINEC, F-I-N-E-C. F, fuel valve, make sure it's on. I, ignition. N, if the bike isn't already, shift into neutral. E, for that engine kill switch. And the final C stands for choke and clutch. Now you're ready to start the motorcycle. I hope you'll join me for the next episode where we talk about the clutch, shifter, shifting gears, and we get moving.